A very difficult topic, but I know that you are so positive person. Your sunshine can be very important to other people who are in the similar situation. How did you go from Ukraine?
First of all, thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to share. And usually all interviewers asked about how did you manage with all of that? But you could find the way. This is the first thing we're going to talk about. My war starts in 5 o'clock, as each Ukrainian has it. We didn't expect that. Day before, I was in a business meeting. I was in my class because I used to have in Ukraine my fashion and art academy, and I was doing that for more than 17 years. I was, I was working as a teacher. I was with my people. So my war just started at 5 o'clock because my husband, he just woke up me and told me, Marina, the war begins. And we are living quite far in the top floor, and I come to a window and I saw bombs, I saw the rockets. I was in a shock, but I'm a person who tried to prepare and try to plan all their life. I wake up my child and he said, the war. I said, yes. And he had a clothes just right next to him. He wore his clothes. Oh, he's a surgeon. At that time, he was 12. And we were talking because I understood that it might happen. We weren't ready, but I understand that it might happen today, tomorrow, whenever. I packed, I had that, backpacks. I had all my luggage were packed already. So I woke up my son. I was really worried. Of course, I was in a big stress. I didn't realize what happened, but my husband said, Marina, if you want to leave the city, you need to do that immediately. Nobody knows what might happen with the city. It might be bombed, it might be closed, it might be occupied, so nobody understands what's happened. And, we were stuck in, I told my husband that what I need to do, if the war begins, what I will do, I will save our child. Because for me, I was looking, I was thinking about education a bit deeply, because my son is the youngest member of our family, and he's the youngest person in our family. He's our DNA. He's our DNA of our family. And I understood that I need to save our DNA. Nobody agreed with me. Everyone said that I'm a person who is in panic, but I wasn't. I was really not calm, of course. I was in a big stress. I didn't realize what might happen. In my car, there was enough petrol because the night before, at 11 o'clock in the evening, my husband decided to fuel our car. My Google map were printed because I didn't realize we'll have mobile connection or not. I had a plan. I had plan A, B, C, and D. And I realized that no one with our family members will go with us. It's only my solution. It's only my decision. So we grabbed some belongings. Unfortunately, I couldn't take my cat, and he was also very prepared. Can you imagine? I prepared even a car, our cat's house, for travels, with all things that he might have for a few weeks, with all food, toilet, whatever. He had everything. But my husband said, no, Marina, you can't take him. I think it will be difficult for you to travel with your head. That's why it is the only one thing that I'm really worried is we leave my cat. But, we went from east of Ukraine to west of Ukraine because it might be, in my opinion, might be a solution. But it was lots of traffic. Everyone tried to leave the city. There were lots of like posts for territory army. Just people just immediately, our brave men just immediately started going out and just save and protect the country. So we were moving in the first few hours. And in my plan, there was I booked through the booking special hotel where we might be safe. But when I called to them, they said, Marie, no, you might come, but you will sit in our garage or under the ground because we're also bombed. So we were just moving together with my son, unless we haven't got any petrol. There was less petrol. And that day, I had a very quickly decision that we have relatives of my husband in the middle of Ukraine, next to the Uman. So we stopped in their small village, and the people, they just host us as our relatives, and they let us to stay for a few days. And during these first days, I tried to find a petrol. There was no petrol, no other opportunity to get it. And in one particular just day, or just, when you knock to everyone, when you call everyone, you try to find the way, you will find the way. And the one day, in a few days, I had 3 calls from army, one of my friends. They find the solution how to fill our car and just to do our evacuation, to continue our evacuation. Another from government of this small village. They also said that they will help us to do it. And the third one from my friend from Kharkiv, she asked me, could I evacuate their children? And of course I chose, and they also had some petrol. And I said, oh, yes, of course. So I chose evacuation of the children. We throw away all our belongings just to have more space for other people. And so in my car, there were 6 people, and we continue our evacuation from Ukraine to the EU.
How long have you been crossing the border?
Actually, it wasn't so long. It took only just 2 days, because we had only one night in nowhere. Actually, there was a huge traffic jam from next to the Uman, from Uman to the border. But we find a way, and very nice that, my husband and husband of my friend, I'm godmother one of child, and he had a disability, and he need to be, to have special medical help as well. So we were guided by people who could help us, and we tried to find through the Google map the solution. We stuck in the mud. We went through the fields. It was February, so it was the end of the February, or maybe first days of March. Actually, I don't remember. You didn't count the days. You didn't realize in which situation you are living. The only one thing that you should know, just you should move. That's the main idea. And also, my son really inspired me. So he told me that when I was really, in some situation, I was just stuck in, and I was in a shock and sitting and doing what I need to do, what I could do. He said, no, you shouldn't stop. You shouldn't replace me into more space, safe surface. So he always motivate me as well. So we just did. And, it's not only my story. I think it's sort of a million Ukrainian women. In our situation, I was a woman who was riding through the ice Carpathian mountains, through the Romania mountains, and whatever. But other women, they did the best, because they also wanted to save their children. And it's really brave in this situation. Everyone was really brave, and everyone did what he or she could did. And actually, we met lots of brave men during the way. It was also incredible experience, because when you saw, we were tired, we were shocked, but we have lots of posts through the country. In nearly each village have their like a point where army, but it was actually not army. It was men of this village with the weapons who just checked your documents. So in one hand, it was really dangerous too. In another hand, we had incredible men who, for example, saw us really in shock. They said, do you need any water? Maybe you need a hot borscht. We have a hot borscht. Do you want to eat? Or maybe you want some candies. So people were just together, and they tried to help each other. And it was incredible feeling in that moment as well. Everyone tried to help each other as well. And my people in my car, they also were so shocked. They were from Kharkiv, and they were so bombed. So it was my aim to help others than thinking about myself. So in this situation, that was very, very important. After that, I drive through 6 countries. So I'm now in Great Britain, and it's my 7th country. It wasn't easy. We also had some challenges, because when you don't know any idea, when you don't know where to drive, when your house is your car, actually is all that you got, you don't understand. Will you see anyone from your family? You don't understand what might happen on the road. You don't understand what you might have around you, but all you need just to move, and just to be sure that all you do is safe and all that you have is just now.
What happened when you crossed the border? There were some posts or no? I mean,
In
like
Ukraine or in UA?
in maybe Poland or Hungary or Slovakia.
Actually, there was also a very difficult situation on that day because it was like a first part of our war. So there was special lines for Ukrainian, and there were really long queues because different countries, they tried to count how many Ukrainians are enter. That's why there were special queues in the border in some cities between even European countries, which I didn't expect that. So there was like queues for 3 hours, for 4 hours, for 6 hours. And sometimes also was unexpected because you're just thinking that it might take some time, but it takes longer. Also, we try to find where to stay because you need to find a hotel, you need to find, I don't know, Airbnb, something. And also when you don't have any idea where to go, so it might be not so easy because I didn't start because I didn't even, UK in my country, just it was like, again, one call from family member who said that there is one family who had a decision to host someone from Ukraine. It was their friend. So it was just suddenly, but we need to wait until we'll have visa. So it was more than 1 month. So we were in France, but also in France, there was also some difficult things that we were murdered. It wasn't, we were living in social housing, which was also a bit dangerous. But in France, we met so nice family. I call her our French fairy, beautiful Isabel, with her amazing husband who just, they were so kind. And that time we were so broken, we were so disappointed, we didn't have any forces to do anything, and they just hosted us. I just rented her apartment in a small village, and I don't know how but as an angel, they like took their wings and just around us. And we met their family. We stayed with them last Easter. We stayed with all their family, with all their friends, grandchildren. And it was like a time of healing. So during this way, it wasn't easy, but I think when you try to be open to the world, you'll meet amazing people anyway. And everyone, I think all space, all surround will help you to do your best if you are happy to do that best, and if you're grateful for that as well.
And how quickly did you find a job?
It's not a quick decision, of course, because all I did through all my life, it was teaching. So I did a lot of things. We used to have a travel agency, one of the biggest in the Kharkiv. I managed fashion academy, and we did lots of things, my story. But teaching is, I think it's my passion. So all my life, all I wanted just to teach. And in UK, there are special rules. There's special qualification for people who could be a teacher here. So when I just arrived, of course, I've got lots of education and I've got lots of experience. But when I came here, people told me, no, you can't be a teacher. You need to do this, you need to do that. You might need a few years to do that. But all I wanted just to teach. I told them, no, I won't go anywhere. It's not just because I'm afraid of any job. No, I'm not afraid at all. I can do what I want. I could do different jobs. But talking about teaching, it was my passion. I said, no, I will be only a teacher. So I was sending my CV everywhere. Of course, I realized that my first CV wasn't perfect. It was strange. And, I think people in work or in Cambridge or whatever, Oxford, they might be saying that she's overthinking about herself. But I was continuing doing that. So I started my job. So I came to Great Britain last April, 18th of April. And I've got my job on 1st of December. It was teaching job from the very beginning. But actually, talking about opportunities, I think you shouldn't shouldn't think it's not impossible. All the time you need to be open to the world. For example, I even had idea how to join the Oxford. So, and it's less how it happened. We were stuck in the train was, the train was cancelled from the London, and we were stuck in with my son in the end of the day at 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. Nowhere, because just train was just cancelled and we need to go out. And I met a couple, very nice couple. She was a teacher in a camera, she was working with a camera. She said, oh, she was talking with me and she said, I have an idea for you, Marina. And she just inspired me what to do. And it was, it was an opportunity. If I didn't get this job, I might go to that way as well. So all you need to do just to do things that you want. So I was sending my CVs everywhere. And once I didn't know how, but my company, it's a company, educational company who helps adults to have their new opportunities to change their profession. So they need a person who could inspire people who don't want to be inspired sometimes, or who just try to find themselves. So they find me and said, okay, welcome. So I'm with them since 1st of December.
It looks like a miracle. Universe were all around you and tried to help you to find your own way.
Thank you. I don't know why, but I believe in karma. So maybe I did something good in previous my lives, or maybe now, I don't know. But I felt as a child of the world, and always I said that you might be guided, but you need to believe in that. You need to believe in that. And I know that sometimes, and also my English families, they also help me a lot. So again, when you're just broken, when you don't realize that will you see your family or not, and just people who didn't know you just open their doors, but actually they open their heart, because it's so difficult to open and to share your private life with strangers. They didn't know who we are, who we could be. For example, I'm so grateful how kind they were. I really felt, I understand that I have my own family, I have my own story, but could you imagine how I felt as a member, and it just opened, it was so gentle, so generous for them. So they also heal us. So I think people could heal each other. And, the protection of the world, that's incredible. So 6 months we lived in a host family, which also, helped us. And it was also, sometimes I think like a joke from the universe. The house name was Schoolhouse, and it was, before that it was house of 16th or 17th century, and it was a school from previous time. And I think as a building construction, so me and my son, we lived in the top floor. So actually in my mind, if there was a school in the first floor, and a school and kitchen in the first and second floor, because a special thing where it might be, so the top floor, it might be a teacher room. So it also was like a small joke, joke. I'm so grateful, their family made that they did that healing with us. And, they give us a lot of opportunities, and they give us a lot of forces and love, of course, love. And they also have their lesson during that period of time, and we were all together, and it was so incredible.
It was difficult to find a flat or an apartment. It was absolutely torture. It's it's not easy in UK, which I love in this country. It's a very traditional country with a traditional structure. So usually for all younger people, for other peoples, you need to do some procedures, because the government tried to protect landlord, and government tried to protect the people who own who rent the apartment. So for them it will be also difficult to pay that. So there's very lots of procedures. You need to keep lots of documentation and so on. But if you just come in your country, if you're new in this country, you didn't have any bank history in that country, so it's not easy
even for British people, because sometimes they don't have all documents. For us, again, I had 100 no before I've got that flat. But actually, this flat was first flat I saw. First flat I told that I wanted to live there because it's an incredible place, and also in a historical building, but it is flat just rebuilt, and I was first person who just rented. So you put your energy, put your spirit inside of this building. For me, it's very important to have a house. For me, it's very important to have this spirit.
What did motivate you in moments when you got more than 100 no?
Now, to be honest, what I'm talking about, it was like a miracle with angels who's flying and with sparkles and fairies, and it seems like I have this magical wind, and I'm flying and everything is okay and everything's so positive. It wasn't so positive. Renting, it was difficult because I need to take all my belongings. There was in different places. For example, you need to. Usually flats in they're just empty, so you need to find everything. And for example, how to use drill, how to build your own bed, how to find it. And it's quite expensive as well. So how just to connect over when you didn't have anything, all you've got is just you and you both hands. So it's not a miracle to move. It's not a miracle. It doesn't mean that, I was just driving with fun, the sunshine brightly, spring and blah, blah. No, it was difficult. It was million tears. It was lots of stress. It was, I was crying each day for many, many hours. It wasn't so easy. The same, but sometimes you need to have to have a decision. Yes, now I'm separated with my family. I separated with my beloved husband because I lived in a really happy family. I have happy, small. We had small but really happy and really friendly family, and all my life I lived in love. I was swimming in this love. That's why maybe I'm so positive, but. My family, my mom and dad, they give me so much love. My husband, he also, we together, we just had an anniversary. We together 16 years, and it's really difficult to separate it. But also, I know that I can't let down, because now I'm a good newsmaker for my member family. So I try to inspire them and when they know that we are all right. Actually, for my son, I'm also so happy that he won their bursary in one of the bestest. There's no word bestest, but for me it's like best. And school in UK with again with this history and with a lot of things where he could open his mind and study in a good condition. So because he had this bursary for 1 year, I don't know what we'll have for a future year, but actually for this year, he loved that school and helped him to be stable as well. He lives in this school because he lives, during the week, but I see him only on the weekends. But I realized that I can't betray him and I can't let down. I need to continue. That's it. When you understand that you should think not about yourself, you will go forward. There is no stop. Believe that there is no. If you think that it might be yes. So I think that through 1,000 million doors, there should be one yours.
Many people have different experience with Ukrainian refugees and in general with Ukrainians.
First of all, I would like to say that in each nationality, you may have rude people, bad people, and good people in each nationality. So it's a statistic. I think different kinds of people, just statistic. So you can't say that people of that nationality are just perfect. Another nationality is worse. And of course, this is my first thought. Another thought, I think that So maybe if you met that person, just statistic, you just met that percent from this people. So we can't judge people because of their nationality. Thought number two, if you met, it's usually a woman with children or just a woman. So you could should realize they're in a big stress, and maybe they lost all they had in their life. So maybe they lost all their income. Maybe they lost some members of their family. Maybe they lost their father or her child, for example, or someone. And they try to do our best. Maybe you saw this video on TikTok, and I really, I saw it once, and it was really about us. So in that video was this like part from the one video when the woman is like crying, and then she just stop it, like add her mask, was smiling and go outside. It was all about Ukrainian women during this year. When we are alone, we are crying, we are really in stress, because what you could do, you wake up with the news and you go asleep with the news, because you realize you can't sleep when you saw in a telegram that your city is bombed. And my parents are in Kharkiv, and my husband is in Dnipro, so I'm looking through all the cities all the time. And today we were talking together, we have this interview, but today again and again, Dnipro region were bombed a lot, Kharkiv were bombed a lot. And what I'm doing, in fact, always, before this interview, I was talking with my husband, I was talking with my mom, said, yes, we're okay. And you understand that this time they're okay, but you don't know, you can't, there's no rule. You don't know, will you hear them about them? Could you speak with them tomorrow? You don't know. So each time when you're saying goodbye to them or good night, it might be your last night, it will be your last word. So you'll try to solve this, and you can't be upset for them for somehow, for psychological reasons, not good, just to prevent sometimes, but you try to be strong. So when you see Ukrainian people who are a bit rude, maybe because they had a big stress, maybe sometimes they need more hugs, because world haven't got such a genocide in the center of Europe for many, many years. And actually, we don't know the truth that it really happened. So all that you can see, and also in your news, you can't see the truth, truthfully. Because I was working in a big project half of the year before I got my job. I work in a big project, volunteer project for helping Ukraine. And also I did a lot for representing Ukraine. And I can tell you that lots of news are hidden from you because it's like a sensitive contact. So you can't see the truth. Believe me, I saw all these photos. I talked to people who were inside of that situation, and just how to speak, how to believe that Ukrainians are good. We are not good and best. We are not a candies. We shouldn't be sweet, but just sometimes that people there need help. And if you understand that people are just, their behavior is not as logical, maybe you should ask them, maybe they need some help, maybe they need some talk, maybe they need some hug, maybe they need just to share their information. And also because some people, they can't speak English, or they don't know the native language of that country, where are you from? They can't talk to anyone. So they can't express themselves. They try to pretend, they try to work, if they're working, they try to work so hard. And for example, if there's a waiters and she's working in a cafe, she tried to smile, but inside of her, she might be dying. That's why she might be rude. I was working with Ukrainians for a lot. When I just arrived, what I tried to do from my first days, I was integrating myself to Ukrainian society here, to Ukrainian groups of year refugee all around, because I had a car. I did lots of translation, and we even can't imagine what the people, I wasn't stay in the bombs for a long period of time, but I had that experience, and you can't forget it. You can't forget the voice of Sirena. you can't understand, how to sleep, in a between the two walls, in a very, very cold surrounding. And it's all happened in the center of Europe. We're now used to clean surrounding, to everything that we've got. But can you imagine what you could do, how you can behave you lost everything, how you will, how you will deal with all of that? So that's why I shouldn't judge and shouldn't be, just I shouldn't think or overthink about this situation too much.
Pleasure for me to talk with you, and I suppose also from our viewers. I feel your light, and I hope other people also feel it.